about derivatives, points to remember. If I say long, it means buy if I am long on the security. Short, it means sell. Squaring off, opposite transaction to the previous one. If I have bought something, I am selling. So I say I square off my position. If I have sold, I am buying back, but I say I square off. Okay, please, we will be using the word square off. So even if I have sold, when I buy back, I say I have squared off my position. Close out, opposite transaction to the previous one, usually done by the exchange. So if I don't square off my position, exchange will close out. So that's called close out. Buy low, sell high gives a profit. If I buy something at a low price, I sell high, I get profit. Sell high, buy low. This is possible because of derivatives. If I feel something is overpriced, I sell that thing and buy back or square off my position at a lower amount, I can make profit. That's how is the beauty of derivatives, which we will be learning about. Derivatives, the instrument whose price is dependent upon or derived from the value of underlying. As the name suggests, derived from the underlying. Underlying could be anything. It is a stock, a bond, not only the financial asset. Nowadays we have derivatives on temperature, weather derivatives of forecasting whether it will be a cold temperature or a hot. Accordingly the farmer would make money. Yeah. Let's see. To explain this, I would have a role play for you. We have a farmer and a bread maker. A farmer is worried about his harvest, which will be coming up after 3 months. He feels that because of the supply, everyone will be having its harvest done by the 3 months, end of that 3 months. Because of the supply, the prices in the market of his wheat will come down. But the wheat maker is worried that the price of the wheat will go up. Why? Because of the festivity season, lot of demand. So what is the fear of the farmer? That the price of the wheat will come down. Fear of the wheat maker, it might go up. Okay, so the current market price of the wheat is 100, which is called as the spot price. What they both do? They both enter into a contract, negotiate. Let's fix up at 120, which is the forward price. So the price that 120 is not a random number. This 120 is derived from the current price of the wheat, which is 100, let's say per kg. Okay, so 120 is a contract which we both have fixed up between the farmer and the bread maker. Now after 3 months, what happens? The price in the market for the wheat can either go up or go down or remain at my contract price, which is 120. What happens if it goes up? After 3 months, the spot price in the market can be 120. So neither the farmer makes a loss nor the bread maker, they both execute the transaction happily. If it becomes 90, the bread maker has agreed a contract at 120. The price has become 90. He loses, but he is bound by the contract, right? So bread maker makes a loss. What if it becomes 140? The farmer who could have sold his wheat in the market at 140 is bound by a contract to sell at 120. So farmer makes a loss. Now what happens? But because they both have entered into a contract, ideally they are supposed to execute the contract by supplying the wheat and giving the money. Okay. So this is the ideal way of doing it. Since it is between two of them, it is called as OTC, over the counter. We both sat on the counter, agreed upon a contract saying 120. Okay. Now this is a forward contract, the instrument whose value is derived from the underlying. It is OTC because both of us sat on the counter, over the counter product. Exchange traded, one which is listed on the exchange. Most commonly on the exchange we have futures and options. Now how can we settle this transaction? We have agreed upon 120. There are one way where I can settle this by delivering the underlying. I am a farmer, I have to deliver him the wheat and he has to give me the money. This is called delivery of underlying. But cash settled, this is very, very important, which is done on the exchanges. It is not generally the delivery of the underlying. Difference, if the present market price is 90, bread maker is losing money, he will give him that balance back. If present market price is 140, farmer is losing money, he will pay him the balance back. So that's a cash settlement, which we will study ahead in this topic. Let's go ahead. Spot market, the goods and the funds exchange hands the moment a trade takes place. Forward contract, two parties, our farmer and a bread maker, agree upon everything, but the settlement takes place X days later. Limitation of forward contracts. Now in this case, if one party was losing money, there is a chance he might say, oh boss, I'll not give you money, let's default this transaction. So lack of centralization of trading. Nobody is supervising this trade, right? Illiquidity. Now where will the farmer go with the specifications what this bread maker gave him to make the wheat, that a particular quality you make for me. Now where will the farmer go with this particular quality? No one else would buy from him, right? Counterparty risk. One party saying, okay, buy, I can't execute the transaction. So what will you do? So because of these limitations in the forward contract, such contracts got listed on the exchange. In India, we have multi-commodity exchange, which is specifically for commodities like this wheat, where farmers can trade and have a settlement with the underlying or a cash settlement. Both provisions are provided. Futures. Introduction to futures. Futures were designed to solve the problems that existed in the forward markets. A future contract is an agreement between the two parties to exchange an asset at a certain date at a certain price. Future contracts are standardized forward contracts that are traded on exchange. So they are specific contracts. So it is not as per the specification of the individual. This is a specific contract available at this price, you take it or leave it. So forwards become future when they are exchange traded. Standardized. Counterparty risk is absent because settlement of trade is guaranteed. The stock exchange takes the guarantee that the trade will be settled. No party can default. How does the stock exchange take that guarantee? Stock exchange will not come and put out from their pocket, right? Mark to market settlement. Every day, whatever are the losses are being borne by the investors. So it is settled on daily basis. Now we go ahead with options. Let's take this example. Hyundai is launching Sonata. The price is 15 lakh. You can book the car by paying rupees 50,000. Okay. What happens at the time of delivery? By booking the car, what have you bought? You have bought the option to buy the car, but you are not obliged to buy. Even though you have bought the option to buy, you are not obliged. What if you don't buy, what else you lose? It's just that 50,000, right? When booking matures, can Hyundai force you to buy Sonata? No, because you have bought the option to buy but not obligation to buy. Can you force Hyundai to sell Sonata? Yes, you can force Hyundai to sell Sonata because you have paid the token for that and you have fixed the price. So the buyer of the call option has a right to buy but not the obligation, but the seller is obliged. Okay. The same thing applies on the stock exchange. An option contract gives the buyer the right but not the obligation to buy or sell a specified underlying at a set price on or before the specified date. Now let's see first the difference between futures and option. Future is an agreement to buy or sell a specified quantity at agreed price where both the buyers and sellers are obliged. In future, both bread maker and the wheat farmer were obliged to undertake the transaction, but in options you just pay a premium whereby your obligation becomes limited. So you just have the right but not the obligation. Unlimited upside and downside. If the things go in your favor or against your favor, you have to abide by the future contract. But in case of an option, if you feel the value of that Sonata 15 lakh is too much for you, it's not that much worth, you can just ignore it. Future contract prices are affected mainly by the price of the underlying. Of course, option prices are also affected by the underlying, but it is affected by time remaining for expiry, volatility of the underlying asset. So if I bought an option for 3 months, so the time is also taken care into account. In options, we have much more in detail in our coming up videos. Stay tuned to it. For more details on finance topics, you can contact palakrajani@yahoo.com. Thank you.